This is the most loyal creature in gaming, and there's one button that gets rid of him. You treat him as nothing but a useful pet. One press in midair, and Yoshi drops straight out of the level. Mario keeps flying, Yoshi does not. The craziest part about this is that it's not a glitch. It is not even a secret. Nobody had to dig this out of the code. It is the intended plan, which leaves one real question. Not how the trick works, but why a family game would build it in the first place. Super Mario World came out in 1990, bundled with a brand new console, and it introduced a character nobody asked for, but everybody loves. Yoshi, a green dinosaur you can ride, who eats your enemies, and carries Mario over gaps that stopped him alone. Here's how the trick works. You jump onto Yoshi's back, same as always. Then, while still airborne from that jump, press the button again. Mario peels off and takes a second jump stacked right on top of the first. Roughly double the height of a normal jump off the back of a creature that trusted you to still be there. Here's what the community itself calls it. The wiki that ranks these moves uses the same word you would, a basic trick, not an exploit, not a bug, the same difficulty tier as jumping over a Goomba, and that same community keeps a separate list right next to it, a real glitch list for the edge cases. Dismount inside a solid wall and you get a phantom second jump the game never meant to give you. Time the dismount wrong off a spin jump and the height comes out as a normal jump, not the spin. Those get filed as glitches. The move that drops Yoshi into the void does not. That's not an accident of naming. That's the game's own community drawing a line on purpose and putting your sacrifice on the clean side of it. The game doesn't treat leaving him to fall as an exploit. To the game, you just press jump, which raises the next problem. If it's that ordinary, that clean, why does it still feel like you're getting away with something? Because the game doesn't just let you do this. In one specific place, you have to do it. Cheesebridge area hides a secret exit behind a giant gate that blocks the ordinary path. Without a cape feather in hand, the only way through is to glide in on Yoshi's back and mid-flight dismount at the exact instant you need the extra clearance to slip under the gate. Yoshi buys you the height, then he's gone, and you're the one standing at the secret exit on the other side. One of this game's own hidden rewards, the kind an entire generation bragged about finding, is locked behind you, sending Yoshi away. If you're wondering how far that goes, look at the highest level of play. A published, accepted, frame-perfect run of this game uses a version of the move the community itself calls the Yoshi flight glitch, dismounting Yoshi against a ceiling to move at flight speed without him through sections like Valley of Bowser. The runner's own notes call it considerably faster than the alternative. Even at the highest level of play, the fastest known route through those sections still runs through getting rid of Yoshi, not around him. So the nostalgia doesn't hold up under its own weight. The dinosaur you begged your older sibling to let you ride was, from the very first cartridge, also the fastest disposable object in the level. So here's the part that should bother you. It doesn't. The moment you first free Yoshi from his egg, he says this, word for word, "Thank you for rescuing me. My name is Yoshi, on my way to rescue my friends." The game gave him a name, a debt, and a mission of his own. Then it handed you the one button that ends all three. Here's the wildest part. The speedrunning community proposed an actual category for this game on the record called Kill Yoshi %. The rule, written plainly in the thread, get rid of any Yoshi as quickly as possible, throw him into a hole in the void, and finish the level. The justification, also written plainly, Kaizo Mario players hate Yoshi. Nobody in that thread objected to the premise. The only complaint was that the run would be too short to count as a real speedrun. Not cruel, just quick. Have you ever used something loyal to you as a stepping stone and not even clocked what you had done until someone said it out loud? Well, that's what this move has always been. Nobody built it to be a joke. You made it into one. But here's what keeps the joke from being a lie. Yoshi never dies on screen. Not once. Not in this game. Here's the unsettling part. You drop him in a pit and he doesn't vanish, he doesn't cry out, there's no death animation, no game over. He simply falls past the bottom of the screen and the level moves on without him. What happens after that is left blank, and the one later game that actually shows what happens next, Super Mario Galaxy 2, brings him back alive, so the betrayal is real. It was never the game's script. It's a choice, made on purpose, thousands of times, by millions of players, most of whom never once slowed down to notice what that button actually did. The death was never on the cartridge. You wrote it in later. The first time someone described the fall back to you, and it suddenly sounded like something worse than a jump, but a second irony sits underneath the first one. Nintendo later explained that Yoshi wasn't drawn to be a beloved character first. His shape solved a hardware problem. The SNES only stacked so many sprites in a row, and a long dinosaur body was the shape that fit Mario riding on top of it. Yoshi was built to solve a scanline problem. You found out he also solves a physics problem by using him once and letting him fall. He was made to be ridden. You found the one input that mattered more. He looks up right before the screen takes him. You don't even look back. Still the most loyal creature in gaming, still one button, and your finger's already moving toward it, and Yoshi's already dropping out of the level.